Alright, we are recording back in Just Cause 2. Yeah. We're back in Just Cause 2, I don't really have more to say than that. I only actually have two things noted to talk about, even though there was a lot from this week, but a lot of it was Monday, and honestly, it's kind of just a blur because of how much news I had for writing up, how much video game news I had for writing up, because over the weekend, was when, let me see, there was an Xbox event, there was PC Game Show, what else? There was more than that, I'm just trying to remember what all it was. Sorry, I don't feel like doing progression, at least not immediately.
Thank you for helping the struggle.
Alright. But yeah, the only two things I have is one is Satisfactory is now at, the experimental branch of it now has update 6. Which I haven't really done much with. But that's one of the things I've noted. The other was one thing that it was actually from over the weekend, but I only got the press release for it late enough on Monday. Actually, it might have been on Monday that it came out, but it's still, it wasn't in the Monday thing. News for GSC Game World. I want to make sure I got the name right. Which are the developers of the Stalker series, of which Stalker 2 is coming. But this, they shared a first, I think it would be appropriately called cinematic trailer. I don't think it was actually labeled as that, but that's kind of what it was. And also, I need to play the Stalker, so those are on my list. This should not be water. Open world games. Very rarely are they perfect. But part of the reason that an update is so interesting for that is it's in Ukraine. The developer is in Kyiv, and yeah. So they also, in addition to the cinematic trailer, as I called it, they also shared just an update on how they're doing, showing how some of the developers, they didn't talk too much about it, but I do remember hearing, and they did mention it, just like they didn't show too much. A lot of them were evacuated, I guess would be the way to put it, to Poland. But some stayed behind. I don't know how much that was they chose to, how much it was they needed to, but many are also volunteering and doing what they can to help out their country. And in some cases, that apparently means join the military, which is also why they don't share necessarily too much information on that, because, you know, don't want to give away information that might be crucial to safety. So, yeah. It was an interesting video, but it also is one of those videos that it kind of reminds you that, yeah, war really is hell, and it's kind of weird. I mean, it's like, consider this game. I'm a CIA asset, what Rico is. I'm playing a CIA asset that is here to try to destabilize a country. And you got other games where it is more straight up, no, you're basically waging a one-man war in a country. This is less so. It's more very destructive espionage. But it's, you know, you do all that, and I don't remember the exact quote, but one of the, like, writers for the developer was like, yeah, it's kind of weird to go from, well, it's not so easy to write violent quest lines, well, violent side quests and such, and then, you know that just out the window is an actual war. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. One thing I also noticed, because the sequel, well, the upcoming Stalker game, it would be a sequel. It's just also one of those weird things. Because there's like 3 Stalker games already, but this will be Stalker 2? I don't know. I honestly do need to play them. I have at least some of the already available 3. I haven't played them. But one thing I did notice, and I don't know when the change may have been, but this is Stalker 2, Shadow of Chernobyl. They changed the spelling of Chernobyl to, I assume, the Ukrainian spelling as opposed to the Russian spelling. Where's... there. And I do see that there's stuff I need to destroy, I just don't feel like doing that. When I don't have a vehicle that can protect me in some ways. Or, you know, even just have the weapons on. Yeah, so the other thing, Satisfactory Update 6, which I think that is... So I have a copy of Satisfactory on the Epic Game Store, that's where I originally bought it. But I also ended up getting a copy for Steam. And I think I may move over to Steam with this update. Mainly the reason why is just, you know, consolidation, but also, so Update 6 is on the experimental branch. So there's the early access and experimental branch, and the early access is the more or less stable branch. Technically, it's not completely, but it would be the difference between a beta and alpha, essentially. Okay? And it's just, with Steam, you can, when you go to a branch, it will just update the current files there, and then, you know, you're just using that. It's not duplicated. On Epic, it is actually 2 separate installs. So things are doubled. And I'd kind of prefer to avoid that. Although it would mean, you know, going back and forth is harder, but I don't really predict that I'd be doing that too much. But yeah, this update for Satisfactory is going to be more focused on exploration kind of stuff. So they've changed a lot of stuff concerning the map, like how you can put markers on it. They finally added something that so many people are happy about, is multiple body slots. So currently in Satisfactory, there are certain things like a jetpack, a hover pack, blade runners, which are... Sorry, I just am like, how am I gonna make sure I don't fall? Blade runners, which are kind of just like exosuit legs, so that you can run and run faster, jump higher, and also take less damage from falls. There's also hazmat gear, like an actual hazmat suit to protect from radiation, and a gas mask, because there's also poison gas in the game. But you could only ever equip one of these things, which is a pain in the ass. Well, they finally have added multiple body slots, which previously you could actually get via mods. But yeah, so now you can have all that stuff equipped at the same time. Yeah, if I do that... There we go. It also features a complete redesign to one of the areas, which fortunately, at least for one of the latest save in that game that I started, it's I've not been building there, so I'm not going to be negatively impacted by that. Some people did put entire bases in that area. yeah. Yeah. It looks nice, but yeah. But yeah, lots of interesting changes that they're doing with that, but it is more focused on exploration. Sort of, I guess one way to put it is it's more on core. I think I would say that the exploration aspect is satisfactory. It's still a core element to the game. It's just not a primary element, if that makes sense. Like, because you need to have the exploration be good and be fun in that game. I mean, it is needed. But it's, a lot of people, that's not, they're building their bases. Exploration is to serve the building of the bases. So it is, one of those things where it's a little bit weird, but it really does make sense to spend the time to make sure you get it all right. I'm going to try to grab a helicopter and come back and start blowing stuff up. The heck? Why did they turn red? In the minimap, they turned red. Just trying to think if there's anything else I can mention. I did finish off the last spell campaign that I started and did not finish last time because I ran long. And I actually managed to get all the way to the boss wave, and I was not prepared for that. I mean, if it were just the bosses, I would have been able to. But I could not none of the characters, none of the heroes I had in that campaign were going to be able to handle the horde and the boss. So yeah, it did not go. But that's okay. It happened. Yeah. I'm just thinking, there's a part of me that would rather take the tank. It'll last longer. And is actually more powerful. I do think that those autocannons are better than the rocket. I might be wrong, but I do think that they are. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. It's one thing I started working on today that might prove useful. I don't know. Yet. The software that I use for all the performance stats and all that, it is called R. There's something called R Markdown. So if you know what Markdown is, there you go. It allows you to basically have R integrated into Markdown documents, so that you can have like the graphs rendered at that time, have R do certain data processing, things like that. So I'm messing around with that. I don't know if it'll be useful for anything with OCC, but it might be useful for the other stuff I do. The ability to have pre-formatted PDFs just fill in data. I've put it together. I'm currently messing around with it for my heart rate data stuff, because that'll be a bit simpler. And it's like, I have things working, but there's I want to try to get it better, because the default for the PDF, which does go through LaTeX, yay, I love LaTeX, I work with that so much. I hate the defaults for it, though. So I'm going to have to figure out how to tune that. Okay, I'm not missing pickups. I'm missing something to blow up. There was still count of 5, so if I just find one more with like that. Yeah. There it is. Alright.
We have hostiles in the area. Sending all available units.
Now let's take care of this. And this is bad for me. Okay. Alright. There. Oh, I did just remember. I did actually see something in the past 2 weeks that there is at least a rumor of a new Just Cause game being worked on. Yeah. Go that way. Maybe also see about what I need to do with this.
That was fun.
Although, need to go up, up, up to avoid these helicopters. There we go. Alright, still, I do actually have things to pick up here, not just blow up. One of them means that's actually what I did last time out. Coming back to the our Markdown stuff. I guess I should also explain what exactly is Markdown. My guess is it's kind of a play on the term markup for markup languages, like HTML, hypertext mark. Yeah, I think that is markup language. XML, extensible markup language. Technically, LaTeX is considered a markup language. Yep, more over there. But it's just a way to.
Support on the way. ETA 30
These guys. It's just a way to build design documents. I do prefer LaTeX for multiple reasons. LaTeX is just a lot more powerful. And it's also, in order to bold something in Markdown, you have to like surround it by multiple asterisks, I think it is. Whereas if I want to bold something in LaTeX, the command to do it for just a select piece of text is /textbf for boldface. Italics is text IT, or italics. Do you kind of get what I'm getting at here? LaTeX, the commands usually make some sense. So it's like I can remember very easily, that's how I bold. Even if it's been years since the last time I really had to use it. I don't think it's actually been used. No, it hasn't. But it's like I can just remember how to do that because it makes sense. Whereas Markdown is like just esoteric symbol combinations translate to these different formatting things. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. I always need to look it up. That's not very useful. Not compared to just, using LaTeX, where it's, as I said, pretty clear. I mean, that's not to say it's perfect, but it's a lot easier for me. And it is, as I said, a lot better. I mean, LaTeX is a full typesetting environment. Its origin is a guy wrote a math textbook, sent it to a publisher. He didn't like how the publisher typeset it, so his solution was to invent. Actually, it was initially tech. Was the name of it? Was to just invent that, and then basically do all the typesetting himself. So its origin is for math, making sure that it was properly displayed and such. But it has since been extended tremendous. So you can do music writing in there. I do books. I do my resume. Basically, any kind of document you want, there's going to be a way to make that in LaTeX. And it's also just one of those, because it has so much support and capability in that way, it's got very good fundamentals. It's very understandable. It can be a bit much, but it is still a thing that you can, like I said, text BF is for bolding. That's pretty simple. And it's the broad use for it is part of the reason that is evidence of how effective it is in its design. In that, oh, that's just a worker. I am trying. Oh, perfect. There's a tank right there. I do want there to be another Just Cause game, especially if it is one that leverages the breadth of technology that is now available for it, so that you can have far more involved destructibles. Yep. No, I just remembered. I should have done that. There is actually a way, I think you can hack the anti-air. I don't remember if that only disables it, but that is actually a thing. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different thing, like in Just Cause 3. But I think you actually are able to hack the anti-air in at least one of these games.
We have a Requesting backup.
There you are. Perfect. Alright. Well, with that done... okay. Come on. There we go. Now, let's head down here. That's bad. If I remember correctly, it does blow up after a while. You can't just flip it back. That was it blowing. Oh, I got another one. I'll keep to this. Because I know I can walk down there. I don't know if I can drive down there and back up. And now I'm just thinking, what else do I have to talk about? I'm seeing some stuff rumored for one of the expected rumored upcoming APUs from AMD is codenamed Phoenix, and just seeing some stuff rumor that there might be a version. Phoenix would be Zen 4 and RDNA 3, and rumor basically being a lighter version of this, which is what you'd potentially have in a Steam Deck 2. I don't really know about that. It's still interesting. I mean, the APU stuff, and especially the fact that it is enabling things like the Steam Deck, is definitely an interesting idea, interesting concept, so it will be worth paying attention to in the future. I will also admit that the Steam Deck is interesting to me personally, but it's like I don't know where I'd use it. You know, I basically always have access to my desktop, and when I don't, it's like, yeah, I'm away, but if I'm away, what am I going to be doing? Do I want to be playing video games, or do I want to be doing some kind of work that just a laptop would be better? But it's still, I appreciate the innovation. The application of technology there produce what the Steam Deck is. Plus, if nothing else, it's one of those things that will get Valve to do development they might not otherwise do. It's kind of like for me when some of the weird data processing things I do. Sometimes, I have one idea and it just ends up taking me in a direction to do that stuff, and like making the applet. That led me to then do a lot of other things with the data. Potentially, some could say improving my methods. Not everyone needs to like that. That's fine. But it is still, sometimes when you just have a new potential use, it starts making you realize that, oh, I can do it this way, and this way is better than that way, and so on and so forth. Alright, need to head up. don't know if I have a way to walk over this, so... There. Not over here. Oh, that guy had a good shot. While I was moving through the air, he was shooting me. And I was on the zip line too, so I wasn't moving slowly. That should be the last bit. Alright. Now I want to do this. I'm not stopping, but I do want to see where I'm at for playtime. And this is one way. Okay. Only about half an hour. Alright. It's in this general direction. Damn. Back it up, back it up.
We are sending a
Don't
bird
go too
over.
far back.
We'll take care of this.
There we go. I want to do the agency mission, and I think it's over. Let me just... Oh, no, I was... Well, I wasn't terrible. I was about 90 degrees off. It's better than if I were 180. And I do remember being up here at this place. Let's see if I can finish it off. I know I'm close, and then do the... I got time. I have time to do. Plus, there's, you know, just the different things to pick up. It actually might be that that's all I have left to do. It's just the pickup. But let's still try to fly over. I know that sound. There. This copper's not good. It did get me what I needed, though, which was to clear out the others. Okay, there's one. I did see one thing interesting. Devour did a couple of videos about... It is an interesting case, but yeah, I definitely can see why it was as disappointing as it proved to be. A German designed and made case, which is part of the reason he was interested. But it's got integrated water cooling. Like, the sides are actually massive radiators. But the thing is, when he actually tried it with, was it a 12900 KS? I don't quite remember, but it's like, I mean, the sides, both sides of the case are massive radiators, okay? And he went, because he did, just for comparison, he first, hooked up the build with just a CPU to a 360mm radiator. Okay, so basically, standard 360 rad custom loop kind of setup. And that was actually outperforming this thing where the side panels themselves are radiator. Now, and there's other reasons why the design of this thing was really unimpressive, even problematic. Yeah. That's not that great, because those side panels should have, well, they would have tremendously more surface area than a radiator. But they also don't seem to have any air movement over them. Any, active air movement. They also are, air can't move through them. So, there is resistance, but effectively a radiator is transparent to air, I think is one way to think of it. The air can go through it. It might not go through it very efficiently, depending on the thickness of the fins, the density of the fin, but it still can go through. These things, these side panels, though, it's more just... It's kind of like... And I actually have one somewhere. Like the old, really old, heat sinks. That... There we go. That were basically just, flat aluminum on one side and fins that were somehow cut out of the same aluminum block on the other. And there actually are certainly still some that are like that. They wouldn't feature heat pipes and such like that, and it's not a fin stack, because both of the air coolers that I have at the moment, and even the Wraith Prism that I have, yeah, even the Wraith Prism, it is kind of like a radiator, how that fin stack is. But these are not like that. It is, covered on one side, so you really only have air movement that would go along the length of the fins instead of through them. But as I said, it didn't look like there's any means of active air movement there. So yeah, it would make sense that it's not going to do too well. In theory, the massive amount of surface area should help with that, but it still was not enough. Because he was pointing out that he was seeing temperatures of around 50 C, which he talked about how, and I think that is right, that I have seen it for some, not everything though, which is a point he also made, that a lot of water cooling components, they're actually only... Their operating temperature tolerance only goes up to like 55-60 degrees, and this was going near that, so that's a problem. I mean, it is. Actually, no. There we go. Actually, I think that will. Yep. But I do kind of want... I do actually kind of hope that he does decide to try to fix some of its shortcomings. Because I could see it actually being substantially better if you were to rig up... if you were to rig up some fans to blow over the fins. And he actually was using the correct term, I just can never remember what it is. But to blow over them, so you did have active air movement, as I've been saying. Over those fins, it would be interesting to see how much an impact that would make. I mean, I still remember the amount of impact it made when I stuck some a couple spare fans that I have still around in the test system, so that its CPU cooler, the Wraith Prism at the time, was getting fresh air instead of... well, actively getting fresh air instead of just what air was basically just passively moving in and out. And the difference was astounding.
That was fun!
But one other aspect to it that, well, I guess technically he could try to fit in some conventional radiators into it as well. I don't know. But also, yeah, one thing that is worth knowing is that, you know, as it happened for him, he couldn't use a GPU in it. He had to use the integrated GPU on the CPU, but that was a good thing because that temperature I was talking about, you know, the 50 degrees C for the liquid, for the water, that was just the CPU. So adding a GPU dumping, you know, 300 watts on that, that would be a significant problem. Like, there's no way you could trust the case to actually be able to handle that. Which is a very bad place, very bad situation for that case to be in. Because it was, I don't remember how much he said it was, but it's tremendously expensive. Like, you could have... there are people that could probably do 2 complete builds for the cost of that one case. They might not be, you know, super impressive builds, but they would be builds most people would be exceedingly happy and satisfied with.
Let's finish this!
I hope I don't need to go up the tower. I'm trying to look everywhere else first. Nope, it is up here. At least I got lucky. Actually ended up right here, right away. I see something here. I see 2 somethings. I also see the helicopter. Oh, goody. Goody goody. I also saw that mounted gun. It will shortly be not mounted.
I see the target! He's taking damage! Now you're gonna be sorry!
Now, I will say, it is an interesting idea to have the entire side of a case be a radiator. But how would you that? Wow, they're actually jumping.
Cover me, I'm going in.
But I don't know exactly how you could have the airflow over it be good. Because you'd want the air to go through it for maximum efficiency, I do. Because that way, if you go the length of the fins, that's going to be the longest distance, so you're going to have the greatest chance of the air stopping. Which is going to be a problem, because if it stops, then that means you're basically just moving the heat from one end of the fins to the other. That's not what you want to do. You want to actually get it out of the fin. So you go through a radiator, through the shortest cross section. You're getting the heat. The heat is being picked up on the air, and then it's going right away. It's immediately out of there. So you'd have to have basically, be kind of like a car radiator, which would either take a lot of small fans or some very big ones. But you'd risk it being very loud. It would be kind of awkward to ever take off the side of the case. I mean, it really does make sense if you have the radiators in the front and the back and the top, maybe even the bottom. Even if it is, more surface area would be best, which would be the side, but it also would mean, and they do exist, there are radiators that do exist for this, you'd have to have fans mounted directly into the radiator, as opposed to, well, you'd need them connecting within the mass of the fins, I guess would be a better way to put it. And then I don't know the exact better way. With a 360mm radiator, you have three 120mm fans on there, but the sides of the fan match the sides of the radiator. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to the outside, you're not going into the fins. But that's, what you'd have to do when you have, like a square meter. Well, no, it would be more like half a square meter of radiator. You'd need, to have screw points in the middle. Which, yeah, you can definitely do it, but man, that would be awkward. And also, I do wonder just how much noise there would end up being just from the interference between them. Because, I put in so I don't know if I've actually already talked about it. I don't care, I'll talk about it though. Hopefully I'll be able to put I should be able to put more time into the article on the cooling upgrade I did for the tests. Hopefully I will be able to do that, do more work on it this weekend. But right now, the front fans are the only fans that make any noise in that case. It is so quiet. Well, maybe the GPU fan, but I've not really been doing much that pushes the GPU lately. But it's not even the fan noise itself that I'm hearing. It's actually interference between them, because they're near enough to each other that that the vibrations that they're producing do constructively interfere with each other to be a bit louder and also at a frequency that is audible. If I only had one fan in there, I wouldn't hear it. They would be that quiet. Okay, now that I've done that, let's actually do the thing, I said I would do. Hope I get more ammo soon. Actually, I need to get a drink of water. Oh, that is so much better. But yeah, that cooling, oh man, it's so worth it. For me, at least. Yeah, one thing is it does make me interested in potentially finding a overclock for it, but I don't know how much I want to do that. Like, just do I want to invest the time into figuring all that out?
Enemy sighted. All available units.
And, you know, like, will I actually get that much out of doing it? And there's also the whole, I want the test system to be more of a average system, so I don't really want to push the overclock. I don't, you know, want to tune it in a lot, because it's like, well, no, this is more just, you know, a random person looks at my performance data. I want it to be, okay, their random computer isn't going to be terribly far from this, because it is a build that they could do. But if I start, you know, really tuning in an overclock, that would not be the case anymore. Oh, perfect. Hopefully. Oh, at least that. Reload, but I'm not seeing anything else. Alright. Yeah, so this video might go.
Kissed and made up.
Agency has all the dirty details now, buddy. So the heat is off.
Right. And we have more pressing matters. Remember Jade Tan?
How could I forget?
Well, Blaine's ratted her out too. She was lifted by the Panauan Secret Service while researching the presence of international intelligence on Panau. From what we know of this regime, they'll torture her without asking questions. We've got to find her. Fast.
Those guys don't hold back on the torture.
Look at this little bird. Sure have missed agency hardware. Rico, buddy, she's all yours.
So, the way, I don't remember her name, the way she was holding that rifle, is it actually how she would be holding it? Like, my thinking is this. She's in a safe zone. Fine that she has it on her, but she's constantly holding it at the ready, and it just seems kind of awkward. That, you know, like, the center of gravity would be a bit ahead of where, if she's holding with one arm, one hand, a bit ahead of where it would be. So it'd have to be two-handed, which then she's using with a hand. You know, both hands, so...
Last contact we had, she was close to learning about Panay's plans and who's causing all this trouble. We need her back, fast.
You don't think she's dead already?
Not before they put the screws on her.
Maria.
Go to the facility where they're keeping Tan, then cause as much chaos as possible. That should flush them out.
Remember, check your PDA if you don't know what to do.
I would think that there would be a different way, if you're gonna hold it, to hold it so that you have it, but it's not as tiring or as exhausting just by virtue of where the center of gravity is and where you're good. But I don't really know. It didn't look comfortable the way she was holding it, or being at ease. Like, I mean, she was holding it ready to use it. But that didn't seem like a situation that she needed to be ready to use. And I do remember some of what's coming, I just don't remember when it's coming. That looks like something I need to start shooting. Or actually, let me just head down. That looks like a spot for a sand. And there's probably more than one in it.
All personnel to your posts! We have an incoming unknown aircraft, possibly hostile! Okay, here we are. Now go cause as much damage as you possibly can and squeeze them out. Get out! Sams are on your ass! Tyler, wait!
I see it. That finally knows where.
Launching missile.
There it is. Okay. This is why mobility on the helicopters is so nice to have.
Launching missile.
Where the hell would that come from?
Tyler, wait!
Ah, there it is. I think it is I need to land, but let me do everything else. Yeah, first. See anything else to make it go, at least not right here. I know there is one. Alright, there.
Careful.
Ah, that's what. I mean, he told me, so obviously. Question is, how do I get down?
That'll come in.
There we go. Yes. I'm right here.
Yep, you smashed it all up. Way to cause havoc, amigo. Now go on. There's more stuff to destroy
I know. I'm gonna walk around with this thing like an idiot. But I just so enjoy using. If I find a tank, though, I will go to that, because I think that I will be able to shoot inside of the vents. At some point, maybe I should just allow myself to play this game and clear out areas. Not do any missions, just, you know, clear these areas so then the missions are easier. Not completely easy, though, but easier. Right, I'm gonna head over this way. This is probably stuff to pick up. And then I'm just gonna get myself up to those areas and assume that I will be able to get, you know, this thing. Get one of these again when I'm up there. Okay. And I know there's more, but there's some that's on the other side of the building, and I know I come back to that building. So I'm just gonna do what I said I was gonna. Head on up and trust that I will pick stuff up later. Well, pick stuff up when I'm at these locations.
Uh-oh! Rocket launcher guy in the base, Rico! We have a visual! Requesting backup!
I'm going around. I've got a shot. Hey, cover!
That case you just found, Scorpion. It comes from a cargo plane of ours that was recently shot down. These precious cases are spread out all over Panau. Find them for us, will you?
On him! There's a grenade in there! Finish him! I see the...
intercepted some radio bits and pieces here. They're fixing to abandon base with Jade. Keep doing the destructo, amigo, and we'll get them yet.
There we go.
Okay, move in. We got him.
There he is! Want some more, tough guy? I see the target! Over there!
Oop. Hello. Goodbye.
Cover! We got him on the run! Let's
I don't know why they have the AI say these.
I'm going in! Come on, you piece of crap!
Alright.
Ah, I see you!
Doors are open and the party's on, Rico. I want you inside the house by the edge of the cliff.
Yeah. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Too bad it's only in the next game that we have the wings. Because this would have been perfect. Hey, the helicopter is actually still there. That could have despawned. All right.
Intruded far enough. Now prepare to meet your demise at the hands of my ninja.
I hate ninjas.
Enemy located! All units attack on sight!
Oh, that was easy enough.
Chinga! She's not here!
Take your hands off me!
Okay, this does appear.
Mary Lou, that's a goddamn atomic submarine, and those government thugs are shooting straight at you.
I couldn't remember if this arrived now or later. That's what I was talking about earlier, though. Okay. See one right here. Oh. I wasn't paying attention.
Enemy sighted! All available units advance! All civilians wearing gang colors are considered enemy troops. Shoot to kill.
Buddy, better get your hands on Jade before they reach that damn submarine.
Damn it. So I didn't see the thing up there that's what I was supposed to be doing. And of course the helicopter's gone, so... Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to... Yep. This is a long one. That's okay. I enjoy the game. I really do. It is a good game. Even if it is an old game. Many good games are old.
Sweet Mary Lou, that's a goddamn atomic submarine, and those government thugs are shooting straight at you. Okay, we're on our way to pick you both up. You just get your paws on 10 so we can sweep you up in one smooth go. Look to the sky when you got her, buddy.
We got the positive! Send back up!
Buddy, better get your hands on Jade before they reach that damn submarine.
two are bulletproof, I suggest a quick exit.
Who's flying the helicopter?
Come on now!
Thanks for showing up, guys. You sure saved my, bacon.
Yep.
Worth every bullet. Thanks to you, we know who's pulling the crime syndicate strings.
Right. There are 3 puppet masters, all wanting to play on the Panal stage.
The info's all on your PDA, Rico. Jade'll give you the brief.
Good to hear.
First, there's Alexander Myekov, formerly Soviet Secret Service. He's a trained killer with links to every mob working the New Russia. But whether he's rogue or a Moscow stooge, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh my goodness.
What we do know is that he's in deep with the roaches.
Both share a taste in shiny suits and fat jewelry, I bet.
Number 2 is the Chinese sadist Zhang Sun, a former military intelligence chief. Modern China likes to keep guys like Zhang hidden, but available. His Maoist talk of people power and industrial revolution has got the Reapers eating out of his greasy palm.
Nothing more dangerous than a crackpot ideologist.
Except an ex-commie with gangster friends.
Though I'm guessing you saved the best to last.
Right, mister. This ex-general is certainly no saint. His name is Masao Washio. He was ejected from the Japanese army for torturing his own men. Washio's motto is said to be, pain is good, death is better. He's backed by a bunch of neocon industrialists and has hooked up with the tribal Ura boys. They sure must be impressed by this maniac.
Man, a gang of worse psychos I never knew.
That's for sure. But what has a little island like Panau got to offer them?
They want baby Panay off the throne and their marionette in his place. But why? We don't know.
There must be some monster prize they're after. These are serious players.
Right. And guess what, Rico? You're gonna smoke them out into the open.
And you won't be using no hickory chips. Barbecued pig, anyone?
So, what are you gonna do now?
What I do best. Cause chaos. To force our eastern bad boys out into the open.
Well, try to take a little care of yourself.
There'll be time for that. Maybe you can give me a few ideas.
Careful, mister.
All right.
Sir Dadu, you are the only one I trust with this. I will send over some files for you. Keep them safe, as they reveal to our Japanese friend the whereabouts of his Russian and Chinese competitors.
To find out where these international players hide, I better keep working for action.
Bullseye! That's music to
Oh, that
my
was-
ears. Bring those files over here double quick. I think we have a winner!
We have hostiles in the area, sending all available.
No, I am gonna stop. I just kind of Colonel right there figured, why not? And then he kind of was like, this is why not. I have armor. Yeah. So how long have I gone? I could believe an hour and a half. About that, yeah. I enjoy the game. So I don't know time passing that well. Alright. Well, I need to stop this now. Probably will be in this again next week. I don't think I will do Satisfactory Update 6 stuff, not for a while. As I said, I don't think I'm gonna move over to that for my main thing, and I don't think the Last Spell and Going Medieval both got updates major updates recently, so I wouldn't have a reason to go to them. Who knows? Maybe something. Anyway, see you then.